Secondly, as far as the apostles were concerned, and as far as we should be concerned, it is keeping with our calling. For them, they knew that it was keeping with their calling. In Philippians chapter 1, verse 29, this is what the Bible tells us. It says, "For to you it has been granted on behalf of Christ, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for his sake." It is our calling. We are called not just to believe Christ, but also to suffer for him. It is what we have been called to do. And because it is our calling, we should rejoice. Why? It means that we are fulfilling the call. If I am fulfilling the call, I expect to be embarrassed for doing the work of God. I expect that people will want to bring shame upon me for doing the bidding of God. In 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21, Peter repeats the same thing. He says, "For to this you were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps." We were called to suffer. We were called to follow his footsteps. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. And we are accomplishing that. It's our calling. We are not called to be rich. We are not called to be prominent. But we are called to suffer for Christ. So it should be exciting to us that we are fulfilling the call of God upon our lives. In Colossians chapter 1, verse 24, Paul here says, "I now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up in my flesh what is lacking in the afflictions of Christ for the sake of his body, which is the church." I have a role to play, to suffer on behalf of Christ for the body, for his body, for the church. I rejoice. Why? I am fulfilling my call. I'm fulfilling my calling as an apostle to the Gentiles. Haven't come to preach salvation to the Gentiles and insist that Judaism is something that's been done away with, and for that reason I am in prison. I am rejoicing. Why? I am fulfilling my